Within this video here, I'm going to go through the 3 proven ways of closing more clients. So if you're a business owner that focuses on lead generation or attaining more clients and ultimately more sales for your product or service, this video here is for you. Now, in this video, I'm going to go through more specifically around the home improvement, home renovation space, simply because the examples that we have here speak into that and has a lot more credibility, or holds a lot more credibility. But again, if you are a business that focuses on lead generation or increasing your customer base, then this video here is for you. All right, so what we'll do is we'll go through the 3 basic points, which is number 1, speed to lead. Secondly, it's the system and why the system matters. And then thirdly, the console. Now, I'll be also going through a story specifically to one of our clients who is phenomenal, goes through these pillars quite easily and quite effectively. And again, the consult that he has doesn't speak about price. It's more, we trust you. Everything that you've said on the consultation is exactly what we're looking for. Things that we didn't even realize as well. We want you to do the work. What I'll do is I'll go through that from a story perspective on each pillar, but let's go through the first one, speed to lead. Now, what are we looking at? We're looking at the strategic advantage of having that quick, immediate acknowledgement of an inquiry that's coming in. Now, most often than not, the home renovation space specifically, every time they get a lead, whether it be word of mouth or referrals, or even if they are advertising and they're just taking in their details, they usually get back to them within the week. So 7 days has elapsed before they even reach out and go, hey, we saw you come in on Monday. It is Monday the following week. Just wanted to see if you're still interested in X. And that could be a project that could be worth over $100,000. However, if we're treating these leads as if, we'll get back to them when we can, then you can understand the frustration that they have, or better yet, the lack of, I guess, wanting to move to the next step simply because they're not treated as if their project is, the most important project. And we understand this because clients out there don't give a shit about anything else other than their project that they want at hand. So if you can get to them quickly, if you can have speed to lead, and again, most often than not, it's just acknowledging that they've come through. When you do that, just even keeping it that simple and saying, hey, thanks for coming through. Let me get back to you in the next day or two. Let me get back to you whenever. It's just giving them that peace of mind to say, hey, you've been taking accounts. We've acknowledged you, and there is a process for the next step. Now, that's one thing that is completely missed. And even if you do watch this video and get that one thing out of it, it's by, okay, it takes me a week to get back to my leads. I'm going to make it 2 days. I'm going to make it 1 day. I'm going to get back to them on that same day. For our clients at the moment, as soon as that inquiry comes in, they are automatically acknowledged, literally within seconds. So I'll explain a little bit more about that after. Discover why swift responses to customer inquiries are pivotal for securing conversions. And also let's establish the foundations around the success of the sales aspect and ensuring you're always poised to capture that crucial conversion opportunity. So again, if your competition out there are taking a week to get back in touch with these leads, just imagine what happens when you get in touch with them within 5 minutes or within, literally seconds. Secondly, we're going to look at the system, how we unlock the inner workings of successful businesses, use it and utilizing the system. Now, I'm going to go through just mainly the lead generation aspect of it, but we have a model called the infrastructure injection that focuses on not only the 9 pillars, but there is a segment for each section. Those 9 pillars are then condensed down into, which I'll show you in a Lucid document shortly, but it's condensed down into these, I think, further 6 blocks, which completely focuses on, as soon as they've come in, that prospect, to closing that sale, to further requesting referrals in a modernized way, but then also helping build out the entire system. So we'll go through that, maybe touch on it a little bit later on. And then last but not least, we're going to look at the console. So really, really good client of ours. He's been with us for, I think, close to 9 months now. And he's at a point now where he's constantly front and center. He has the complete market share, and he's got clients, or he's got leads that are coming in, book consults, where he isn't even having to mention the price. He's really been able to just go out there and gain that trust. Now, there's a lead up to it before even going on site. Because that lead up is so effective, and obviously his experience and his ability to communicate and build further rapport with them on site, everything is lined up very nicely for him to close. And again, you'll hear from him. I think it was a $72,000 job. So again, without even having to quote the price, they've gone, yep, let's go. Just send us through the quote. We'll cover that once it's done. So that's the 3 points that we'll be going over today. So first things first, speed to lead. Now experience the strategic advantage of speed to lead. Now in today's fast-paced market, the ability to swiftly respond to customer inquiries is more crucial than ever before. Now, we have a system here where, and again, I spoke about it earlier, if you can acknowledge that inquiry that's come in immediately, and you can actually give them perhaps that next step, or at least peace of mind knowing that they're going to be taken care of whenever you commit to it, just by doing that increases that conversion rate significantly. If, for example, you wait 7 days, let's just even say set 1 day, the heat of the moments, the ability for you to capture the attention has gone. So you really want to take action. You really want to have systems in place to go, boom, acknowledgement. Hey, thanks for coming through. Really appreciate your time. Here's a few things that you can follow up. Or here is a booking link for you to go and book in a time with us. Or here's whatever it may be. Just give them that next step. Now, research shows that prompt responses significantly increase the likelihood of conversions, which leads to sales. So as I said beforehand, if you can get in front of them right away, you can showcase that you do give a shit, you do care. And it doesn't mean that you have to be on the phone with them right away. It just means that you've acknowledged that they've inquired and you've given them that next step. As I said, by acknowledging customer inquiries immediately, you not only demonstrate professionalism and attentiveness, but also establish trust and credibility right there and then. Now, even if you're a one-man band at the moment, and you've literally just got yourself and maybe a couple of subbies to do the work. If, for example, you're able to go, boom, inquiries come in, acknowledgement's been made, booking for an on-site appointment or a consult done, without you having to do anything, that there showcases that professionalism and that attentiveness. It also maybe gives them the perception that, hey, this business is bigger than it actually is, which in a good way is something to showcase, but you need to be able to back that up with your experience and your ability to go out there and really do what you do best on site. So there's always positives around having automations or at least systems set up to help you out, even if you are a one-man band. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm hoping that this goes through the video. If not, I'll have to embed it back, but we'll hear from one of the leads that we generated for a client, where in this exact example, we had 6 companies approach them. 2 of them called them back within a week, and 4 of them didn't even acknowledge them. So you can see, or at least hear his response here.
Yeah, I appreciate you, sort of calling and being prompt and getting back. But there's sometimes, like when we first started looking into the secondary glazing, I won't hold you up for too long, but I contacted six companies, sort of get quotes for the secondary glazing. This is probably 3 months ago, and I heard from 2 of them, and it pisses me off. If you're too busy, just sort of shoot through an email and say, hey, look, sort of thanks for your inquiry, but we're not going to be able to service your needs or whatever. So the promptness of sort of getting back, sort of having that communication, it makes a really good first impression.
Now, you could hear within his voice that he was very, very, authentic and genuine about his frustration on those other companies, but also his acknowledgement, or at least understanding to hear that, hey, at least you've gotten back to me. Not only did we get back to him immediately after his inquiry came through, but for our client, we called him after, I think it was maybe about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes when he's booked that in. So to hear that feedback first time, or real time with him, also showcases that we're doing the right thing. We understand the market, we understand the culture. I'd even say the community expectation, at least here in Australia. They're very personable, and most often than not, if you can build that trust and rapport to begin with, that most of the sales is already done then and there. You can build that up during that pre-on-site visit, and during that on-site visit, it's a phenomenal, it's a phenomenal way to do business, and you're doing business the right way, in my opinion. Keeping it very personable and keeping it, focused on the customer. All right, let's go through the second system here. Now, if you know that something is in demand and you can prove it, you should advertise. So if you're a home renovation business that has a track record of successfully deploying and building out these phenomenal bathroom renovations or these phenomenal deck and pergolas, I love the fact of one of our clients, Wes. He's up in North New South Wales, beautiful man, and he's a beautiful family. But what he was missing was the ability to have people come through and actually experience the craft work, the craftsmanship, and the work that he does around deck and pergolas. The fact that he's been able to not only dominate the market up in Northern New South Wales, Gold Coast, but he actually caused a bit of a rift with his supplier, simply because he's been able to build that brand online, trust and credibility very quick. But whenever leads and whenever inquiries come through, he acknowledges them very, very quick. immediately. He utilizes the systems that we have in the infrastructure injection. And he's, again, simply because he's been able to focus primarily on ensuring that that customer, that inquiry that comes in has been taken care of. Now, again, if you do that, if you make any of those changes from this video, and that's the one, you'll see a significant increase in conversion simply because people can see that you actually do give a shit about them. So again, if something is in demand and you can prove it, you should advertise it. And they should be advertised on Facebook or Meta, which utilizes the Facebook and as well Instagram platforms, and as well Google, whether it be Google ads, YouTube ads, whatever it may be. If it's good enough, you should advertise. Now, businesses have no excuse to not have any leads. Now, if there is a demand and you can prove it, you should be able to close and convert successfully. Now, if you're still using or highlighting service seeking or high pages, then there must be an understanding that whenever you utilize these platforms, whilst it's all good and well for the handyman or for the person that wants to change a few doors, change a few locks, and maybe do a couple of, minor things around the house, that isn't the place where you should be building brand, nor is it the place that you should be scaling the business. What generally happens is that when you utilize these platforms, you're literally just a line item. And I actually do say this around Google ads as well, SEO or keyword optimization, simply because if people are searching for it, which is all good and well, there's strategies around utilizing Google ads. How are you meant to build trust and credibility by simply having like that one line on a website, which may be Google, which may be high pages, which may be service seeking? You cannot differentiate yourself from these other businesses that are bidding for the work. And most often than not, with these people that come in to these platforms, they're most often bidding for the lowest price out. So again, if you're just a number and if you're trying to compete on price, you are never going to build that long-term sustainability growth. You're never going to build that brand. And also people aren't going to see that trust and credibility that you can provide, which again, very similar to like our clients up in Northern New South Wales, Wes. He was just struggling to get leads, struggling to get just people through the door to see how actually good he and his team is. And it's really cool that he actually built the trust in not only us, but also the team. But then after being burnt a number of times, he was able to get back onto the horse, go out there and advertise with the campaigns that we built out for him. And he's completely smashing it up there. So again, there is no excuse for you to not have any leads if what you offer is in demand and you have a marketplace to advertise to. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google, whatever. So how cheap and quick you can get these leads is actually dependent on how willing you are to acquire them. So as an example, if you are looking to acquire not only leads, but obviously projects and work, you need to realize that if you really want the work then and there, you may need to give something. And that usually is maybe the price. But once you've been able to build that credibility, build that trust, and cement yourself as the experts within the region or within the community or wherever you service, then you can start to make those changes. If you really want to get in there quick, you really want to be able to get those leads and that work, you have to start off with price. Difference between doing this online versus in high pages is that in high pages, you can't build that credibility and brand. You will literally just that one line item bidding for that work. On social media, if you're constantly being shown left, right, and center, as soon as someone leaves work, they open up their phone on the bus home, straight away they see your ad. If they're on the toilet at 2 o'clock in the morning and they're just scrolling through Facebook and they're constantly seeing your ads, seeing the testimonials, seeing the social media content they put out there, these touch points is continuously accumulating in their mind to realize, you know what, I'm actually going to go with these guys. Reason being is because I've seen exactly how they work. I've gone through so much of their content. I've learned a lot about the way they do things, their values, their morals, what they stand for, how they look after their customers. I'm going to go and inquire with them. So that there is explaining exactly how you can not only just get that work, but also build the brand to eventually, we've got clients out there who started their bathroom renovations from $15,000, which is low of the low, up until now advertising from $35,000, $40,000 plus. So as you can understand, you can only do that. Not necessarily only can do it, but you can do that quite effectively. If you are known within the community and you've built that brand and that trust. But in all cases, you should be thinking about your online presence. What does the website look like? How is your social feeds working? Are they being kept up to date? And we say that because if you have photos, which is all good and well, and again, we've got clients who come through and they had next to no website and a very limited social media presence. But that then ties into more the offer and the messaging that you've done with that ad. But I guess without advertising, just putting it out there and just saying company A versus company B, if that company is out there continuously sharing exactly what they're doing on a daily basis, showcasing the company culture that they have, maybe even throwing out educational stuff. I had this in another video where we had a client who just, I think with the bathroom renovation, there was a client who wanted, or their clients who wanted the vanity sink situated here and the bath situated somewhere else. Because they weren't able to really see the plumbing upon consultation, he was actually explaining what he had done for the client to not only meet their needs, but also to sort of rejig certain things that they weren't aware of beforehand. So if you're able to not only showcase that, but also realize that, hey, it's all good and well to have the wins, differentiate yourself. This is the way that we tackled some of these challenges and these issues that we faced on site. That there is a really big attention grabber when it comes to someone who is looking for someone that they can trust, can do their work. Great. All right. So if you can show what you're doing a lot, if you can show that you're doing a lot of work, that you're active, that you're constantly showcasing, the results, the customer testimonials, but also the work or the day in the life of yourself and the business, then it also highlights that you are high in demand, and it means that the market trusts you. Now, also, when you have a lot of people or third parties speaking your praises, as opposed to yourself giving yourself a rap, that then not only increases that trust and credibility, but that encourages a lot of people to, really engage and inquire with you. So again, with this system here, number one problem you face is tire kickers. And the simplest way to solve this problem is to advertise the price that you want. And we had a conversation again with another client the other day where they had someone else approach them. And they were talking about why would you showcase the price and why would you sort of keep things very simple? Now, our answer to that is we understand the market, we understand the market sentiment, and we also realize that people are sick and tired of having to go through 1,600 hoops in order for them to just even get anywhere near to the information that they want. But if you're able to showcase the price and say, for example, it's bathroom renovation starting from $20,000, anyone who was looking for a bathroom renovation under $20,000, they're already pre-qualified. They're not going to be part of it. We solve that first problem of tire kickers. Secondly, as soon as these people come through, and I'll speak about this a little bit more, is that on the next landing page, you not only ask them for the budget, you not only ask them if they want to get this done within the next 2 months, but also if you want to know that someone else has already come out there and quoted. But if you can ascertain all that information, and any of those questions don't resonate with them, or if it meets doesn't meet our ideal clients, then they're not qualified and they're moved on. But as you further pre-qualify these individuals before they book in an appointment and they share their residential address, then you know that they are a lot more qualified than anyone that comes in just as a simple lead. So again, having the price there is one of our biggest strengths, and having and we do this for ourselves as well. We showcase the price, how much people are going to pay for our service and for our system, and also what they will be able to achieve off it. Again, that is perhaps maybe the second biggest thing you take away when you put a system together or when you advertise, is to have that price there so you can help the customer make that decision whilst also removing the tire kickers out there. So in here, I don't think that's actually, after this, if you do want to download this, there'll be a link to a landing page where you can download this entire presentation. But this link down the bottom, this image here would have a link to a Lucid document, and that Lucid document will showcase the entire system that I was talking about earlier, about having those 9 pillars, then condensed into 6 categories, which then speaks about the offer, the lead nurturing process, the social presence, and also backend, how you can hire talent. So if you're a tradie looking to bring on more into the team, then we also have that covered as well in the system. All right, so looking at the consult here. Now, remember at the start when I was speaking about the acknowledgement? Now, our great client here, he has our system in place. So as soon as a lead comes in, boom, they're already acknowledged with a SMS. They are also given the information that they've put in, or the answers that they've given to the questionnaire, And also they've been confirmed with the book deployment time and date, along with the managing director's details. So this is exactly what we've done for him. And I mean, I'll let him speak about it. He was able to close, so that should say 72, not 75, 1,000 job without having to hand over a price, which is phenomenal. Now, this is something that's quite common with our clients here. And he's been able to not only leverage the system, but he goes out and he does what he does best. He loves his customers. He loves going above and beyond. And he actually, in order for him to ensure that the customer is satisfied, he actually goes into his back pocket to make sure it works. Again, inevitably, some things don't work out with all projects. And, I've got to credit, I've got to credit our client here and on what he's been able to do, but also how he's been able to get additional work simply because he focuses on customer first. So I'll let him speak.
And I asked them for feedback straight away. They kind of gave a job without even hearing my price, if that makes sense, because they were it was very weird because they told me what they wanted to do. They had a bath, laundry, and a little outbuilding that has a storeroom kind of thing. And they were telling me their idea of how they want the layout. And after about 15 minutes, they go, listen, you tell us what you would do, and we're guided by you. We'll follow you. And they told me, listen, you spent quite some time with us today, longer than the other guys, and you seem like you're explaining the whole process to us, and you're taking your time with that. So I had a feeling that I was going to get that job. And once I gave them my quote, they said, yeah, just let us know when you can start. And I went back there last week just to take my supervisor through and show him the job to make sure he understands what's required, got him to sign the contract. And we're planning to start next week. So, which is brilliant. Yeah.
I mean, if you don't mind me asking, ballpark figure, like what would that be worth to you?
About 72,000 plus GST. So 72,000 plus GST, yeah.
All right. So, I mean, it's a gross $80,000 or close to $80,000 job there, which is phenomenal. But again, the key aspect here is that he had the system in place. He trusted the system to do the work that it needs to be done in terms of building the rapport. And then ultimately, when he was out on site, he was able to do exactly what he does best. And that's give it complete attention to the customer, go above and beyond in terms of, and again, I think he was saying as well, those that came out on site, they didn't spend as much time as they did, or as he did with them, to really get to further educate this customer on what's good, what isn't, what they should be looking at, what they should be removing perhaps from their build, but then also making it up elsewhere in terms of, I think it was more the aesthetics of this build here. So again, phenomenal, beautiful situation, beautiful result here. And he also has a phenomenal family as well. All boys, so I think it's 3. And as a father, I think, I totally respect what he's doing and what he's leading down that track. But I digress. Great man, and awesome stuff to see him really, really succeed. So that there is the 3 points here. This is your to-do list. This is something that I highly advise, just if you do, take a screenshot of this and then start to look at how you can implement this right away. Number 1, start advertising your service and product. I told you the platforms that you should be focusing in on: Facebook, Instagram. If you've got the ability to do that on YouTube and you have a channel, by all means, get your product out there. Even if you don't have a marketing strategy, and this is also tying into, just say for example, you can't advertise, don't know where to start, but you're getting leads in through word of mouth and referrals, they should be treated with as much respect as you would with a system in place. Now that is so important. As soon as you can, or better yet, have someone do this for you, by the way, as soon as you can, get in front of that lead, and then just acknowledge that they've come through. Like what we saw with our first client's client, is that he was sick and tired of being left sort of unanswered, and they took forever to get back to him. However, if you can get in front of them and just acknowledge them and say, hey, I've just seen your inquiry come through, just wanted to quickly say hello and thank you for coming through. I'm quite busy at the moment, but mate, can we book a time in for maybe tomorrow or the next day just to go over, this inquiry? And most often than not, people will be like, absolutely, thanks for giving me a call back. Well, he's just letting me know. But yet, if say, for example, you're too busy and you can't do it, even just a quick phone call to say, hey, thanks for coming through. Unfortunately, we're super busy. However, if you're able to provide them with another associate or someone that you trust in the space, then you can pass that off to them. Again, big focus is about the customer and giving a shit about them. Number 2, any manual tasks that you're doing, if you have the ability to automate it, do it. Now, delegate these manual tasks will save time and allow you to scale faster and quicker. Set up a step-by-step process to free up that time to do what you do best and which is most important. So, sales. So, for example, you've got a really good sales process and pipeline in play at the moment. Then look at the operations. How can you better, not only the company culture, but how can you better what you're doing on a day-to-day basis? Last but not least, just checking out the ability to scale. You should be able to have the metrics and the analytics to showcase, are we moving in the trajectory or in that goal that we set initially within, I guess, the start of the year or within your 3 or 5 year goal plan? Are we tracking or making those pivots or those adjustments to get back on track? So again, doing what you do best, doing what a business owner should be doing, working from a high level, focusing on the customer and further increasing efficiency within the operations, whilst also making sure that you are on track with the goals that you've set. Then last but not least, we're looking at the experience, closing without the price. Now, if your first impressions, touch points, and overall customer first approach is on point, you'll find yourself more often than not closing the client based on your care and give a shit attitude to the client. So as we saw with our previous client there, because he was able to spend a lot more time, really dedicate and showcase his knowledge and expertise, he was able to get that client to close, not even sharing, the quotes price. Now, when you've showcased how much you care about your customer project, they're more inclined to work alongside you and your team. So again, the to-do list is to have a look at these first 2 points, advertise, or even just acknowledge your leads that are coming through, automate those manual tasks, and then make sure that if these touch points are taken care of, the third one is taken care of a lot more. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about how we do this, there is a video linked down below. We're speaking about the ad specialist here. Now, not only about this position or this individual that you can bring on board right away to improve, or at least market your service, but you can also see the system that we implement, how the ads are created, why the ad is created the way it is, why we have a booking system, and how that booking system really allows you to automate a lot of those manual steps and manual phone calls or text messages. And then thirdly, allowing you to close without price. That there is all noted within this video here. I hope you've enjoyed it. Anything else that you have or any questions that you have, be sure to comment down below. But I hope this helps. I hope this allows you to get that stuff.